As an introspective, emotional kid prone to sketching and journaling, how could I not love Doug Funnie? He was new to town, he had an unrequited love, a more outgoing best friend, a bully, and more confidence in his imagination than in his real life. This was basically me. Doug was a more down-to-earth cartoon at a time when all the other shows were in a race to be the wackiest or grossest. Not that those things were bad, I loved those shows too, but it did help set Doug apart. And it's what drew me to the show as well. Also, for some reason, I dressed just like him. My accidental cosplay showed that not only did I like the show, but like Doug, I didn't understand how to dress for the season. A sweater vest and shorts? Like, what is the weather in Bluffington? Seriously though, if Doug was rebooted today, he'd probably just wear the same thing because the 90s are back in style according to all the teens on TikTok. But I'm gonna try to redesign him anyway, because he was special to me and why not mess with a thing I held very dear as a child? So, let's look at Doug's identifying features. He's got a big nose that takes up most of his face and small eyes. He's got this hair that's kind of part of his scalp. I'm not sure what to make of it, like I don't know what hairstyle this is implying. I remember there was an episode all about him getting his hair cut, and it really called to attention how he and Skeeter seem to have heads mostly made of skin compared to a bunch of the other characters. It's a real Charlie Brown situation, so I'm definitely gonna have to do something about that hair. Anyway, he's got the aforementioned sweater vest, and he's a little pudgy too, which I like because, well, I was a little pudgy. Then he's got these big shoes and socks. I think this look is called normcore? I don't know. When looking through my files, I noticed I'd already drawn Doug in an updated style a couple years ago. Aside from removing the lines and making it clear where his hair started, this one stayed pretty close to the original, so I decided to ditch this and start over. I want something a little fresher. So here's the new one. I kept the soft curves of his jaw and his nose and actually defined his hair. I thought this kind of messy, untamed look would go well with Doug's personality. I gave him big ears to match his big nose and some freckles to keep him looking youthful. I feel like Doug is in that horribly awkward phase of the early teenage years when some of his peers look like adults, but he can still be mistaken for a 10-year-old. I also adjusted his outfit a bit. It's a little more Hey Arnold, but not as cool as Arnold because, I mean, who is? I drew some additional poses for fun, and of course, I had to draw Quail Man. Finally, as a bonus, here's a Patty Mayonnaise redesign. I kind of blended the Nickelodeon and Disney versions, even though we can all agree the Nickelodeon version of the show was better overall. She's got that wild hair, but she's wearing pants instead of a skirt. I always thought Patty was too cool for Doug in the original show, and so I wanted to keep that going here. This girl is obviously too cool for this kid. I also made Pork Chop because I apparently just can't get enough of drawing dogs. Order a drawing of your dog at iwilldrawyourdog.com. I had to stop myself there before I ended up drawing the entire cast. I really did love this show. I was fortunate enough to meet Doug's creator, Jim Jenkins, when I was a kid. He was at an event close to where I lived in Virginia at the time. He told me to keep drawing and to remember stories don't have to be wholly invented, but can come from your everyday life. And that's solid advice for any young creator. Well, that's it for this redesign. Let me know what you think in the comments and feel free to suggest other characters in video games, cartoons, or elsewhere for me to attempt next. Thanks for watching.